And so I think part of it is just breaking away from the tech, and not all the time. I'm not going to stop using technology, but maybe regular periods of, I talk about like digital disconnection or tech fasts. Having a real life community that's, we're living in an era, and particularly with young people, that I think one of the things I've seen it in my own family and friends. Young people often think that they are socializing when, on like a Friday night, that they're hanging out on phones with their friends. And, that is completely disconnected from the notion of human connection and community. And it's a cool value add on top of actual human connection, but it's not the same.
Right.
I mean, look, you and I are using technology to have this conversation right now. I'm not a Luddite, but I do think we need to build real in-person communities.
Right.
There's some stuff that I'm not yet expert in, but I'm learning about around things like biofields and, and some gets into like a little metaphysical, and some people would call woo-woo and not real. But I recall reading something about a year ago as I started learning about some of this stuff that said humans literally vibe off of one another. And there's a resonance that's created energetically when you are, and the number was wild. It's when you're within 6 feet of another person. And I immediately was like, oh my God, 6 feet. Is that a pattern? Right. And maybe it's random, maybe it's not. I think we need to start reading the fine print. So to your question of like, how do you break free?
Yeah.
How about we reject devices with neural interfacing capabilities and not allow, if you want to enable data collection in your biological processes, read the fine print, know what you're signing up for.
Right.
And again, without having a firm opinion on levels or anything else, you would have to kill me to allow any sort of surveillance under my skin or even a needle in my body at this point, or anyone in my family. So I think part of it does start with awareness. Like, we're not, again, at least you and I assume most of your listeners are not zombies, right? So yes, we're susceptible to manipulation, but we're not zombies. We can take control of our own minds. And it starts with knowing that there are nefarious forces out to manipulate us, I believe.
Right. I hear you. I mean, I don't mean to keep kind of being Debbie Downer, but I'm just thinking right now of the smart meter that could have been installed, without my knowledge or consent, outside. And I mean, we got a notice saying they were going to do that. I'm like, oh my God, how do I fight that? And a huge kind of digital tower, like I guess a Wi-Fi or a 5G tower that is going up a valley away, again, against local zoning, but someone's been paid off. And it's going to make our Wi-Fi better, or it can make our Wi-Fi better and, suppress my dissident thoughts, right? I don't know. So I think, to really protect ourselves, we have a big slog ahead of like reading the patents that you've brought forward and scanning the bills that are going through and making sure these new technologies are not being deployed on us. And we just elected a MAGA administration that was supposed to protect us from this kind of harvesting of our biology that's rolling it out. So I'm glad you're so sanguine, but I'm pretty distraught and worried.
Yeah, I don't get worried about things, and and maybe that makes me a fool. I try to plug in and try to understand it, and go outside barefoot and walk in the grass, the trees, and those things too, and make sure I'm also not becoming. Well, this is a little ridiculous for me to say, but not becoming obsessed with these sorts of things, but or at least balancing it with love and friends and family and great conversation and really building your own networks. And again, like there's a larger conversation here, and there's a lot of debate within the Maha movement, and how much were we duped, or are these guys just powerless because the machine is that strong? And it might not be one or the other. There might be some really earnest actors inside, and there might be some wolf in sheep's clothing. I am not black-pilled. I wrote a thing this week in response to our mutual friend Jeffrey Tucker, who talked about black pills, and I just don't expect real change to happen inside the system. And I think we need to not look. No one's coming to save us, right? So I think we need to look outside the system and make each other aware. You've been incredible in that regard, certainly for as long as I've known you,
Thank you.
even longer, in terms of, just you would think the work you are doing with Daily Cloud, exposing people to the risks of mRNA, is something that we should count on our institutions for.
You have to stay healthy and well at times like this. You know that I often have suffered from mobility issues, and now I don't. Part of my lifestyle is Native Path collagen. So Native Path's collagen formula is made with ingredients that are scientifically developed to increase bone mineral density, support tissue recovery, reduce wrinkles, enhance hair thickness, and strengthen nails. Who wouldn't want more collagen with all of these benefits? So right now, when you visit getnativepath.com/dailycloud, you can stock up on Native Path collagen for up to an incredible 45% off today, plus free shipping. Every order comes with a 365-day money-back guarantee. You can try it risk-free today. It is a single ingredient formula with no fillers, additives, or artificial sweeteners, and it's third-party tested for heavy metals, which makes sure that it's pure and safe. It's flavorless. You can add it to anything. I add it to my oatmeal. You can add it to coffee or smoothies. Its formula makes it more bioavailable, meaning it's absorbed more easily and mixes without clumping. And the best part is Native Path is offering amazing bundle deals, 3 or 6 packs at a fraction of the price of other brands. With over 4 million jars sold, 1 million happy customers, 8,000 5-star reviews, and a 365-day no-risk guarantee, Native Path is a trusted choice, and they offer an 800 number. You can ask any question. A real person is waiting to help. You can join a private Facebook community. I love these people. Share recipes, success stories. So that's getnativepath.com/dailycloud and start your experience of transformation today.